Now, I know that Gavin Newsom is always talking about how there's no crime in LA, okay? But then how did this man steal this car? Oh my gosh! Now, speaking of crashing, okay, Peter Doocy brings up the video circulating of someone opening a White House window and throwing some sort of trash bag outside. Could you elaborate on that? Now, here's the video in question. There's that window open right there, and here's another angle, okay? But don't worry, it's just Melania throwing out some ugly dresses that look like curtains that Jill left behind. I mean, you guys saw the curtains that she would show up in, right? That's a lot of flowers.
Well, that's probably AI generated. Actually, you know, you can't open the windows. You want to know why? They're heavily armored and they're bulletproof.
So that's a fake video?
Well, it's gotta be, all right? I know every window up there, and it's the last place I'd do it. There's a lot of cameras here, including yours. No, but every window, well, in fact, my wife was just complaining to me the other day. She said I'd love to open this window and let some fresh air in.
Probably to get rid of Jill Biden's stinky shoes.
But they're heavily armored and they're about 600 pounds. You have to be pretty strong to open one of those windows. But what window did they say that it was?
See, now, Peter Doocy runs over here, okay, to show him the window video, but we all really know that they're watching JD Vance memes. I mean, come on, with a smile like that in the back.
Those windows are sealed. They're all sealed, okay? You can't open them.
JD Vance like, that's right, Big Boss says can't open them.
You know, during my first term, we created Space Force, okay? And we did this because China and Russia were beating us in the space race. And now we are far above and beyond,
to infinity and beyond.
Oh, and by the way, we are taking our space command and we're going to move it from the woke Colorado and take it to Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, that's the locale that I always wanted. And they're going to call it Rocket Town, or Rocket Town from now on, okay? Because I'm a rocket down, rocket down. I'm gonna be president a long, long time. Rocket down. Yeah, so one of the problems I have with Colorado, they do mail-in ballots, okay? We don't do that mail-in stuff because that means that they're cheating, okay? And we don't like cheaters. We really, really don't like cheaters. We don't like people who break the rules. When they break the rules, even in international waters, well, there's gonna be some consequences, okay? We don't appreciate the Tren de Aragua out here. Aragua sounds like agua. That's where we hit them, in the water.
Now, there has been some movement on the Jeffrey Epstein situation, okay? Anna Paulina Luna was talking to people yesterday saying, these victim stories, we were listening to them, and this is a lot bigger than we thought that it was. And also, it is possible that Jeffrey Epstein has been working as a foreign agent. I know people are frustrated that there hasn't been a lot of movement on this, but there's some people that need to be arrested. Now, here in the JE victim stories had Nancy Mace flying out of the Capitol building, okay? Now you got half the people saying Nancy Mace is just a human, okay? Let her show her emotions. And you got the other half saying she's not fit to be in Congress. And that is teaching me that I could never do her job because I am an empath. But you know, never say never. Now you got RFK Jr. telling Bill Maher that 25% of Americans believe that they know somebody in their life that was by taking the in the arm after the COVID. And he's like, there's 50% of Americans that believe that the is the reason for those If you look at the Pfizer vaccine, there were 22,000 people in the placebo group, and they found out that the other 22,000 people who received the shot, they actually had a 23% increase for But could that not be getting sick from the virus? Well, then that means that it doesn't work. Now, not only that, but there have been more and more reports coming out that there could be a link between taking Tylenol while you are pregnant and the intellectual development of your child. Now, this woman is like, there's a group of people at Mount Sinai who looked at 46 studies, and 100,000 participants in these studies found that acetaminophen use in utero could cause problemas. So if you got a bun in the oven, make sure you ain't giving that bun Tylenol, or it could come out of that oven a little teensy bit crispy. Now, that Tren de Aragua strike, what legal authority were you guys working under? And will there be a report? Well, the legal authority is that we have criminals who are bringing in drugs to our country, and our president of the United States said he ran on a promise to stop this poison from coming in. Next question.